You need to know your why. You need to decide, what do you really want to be doing? What lights you up? What gets you out of bed in the morning with a skip in your step instead of dread? Because if you're going to have dread when you get up, you can go and get a job and build someone else's business. But you're here because you want your own and you want to love it. And I want you to love it too. So let's talk about that. Why? You already have that question in mind. Let me put the chat up. Say hi to me if you are able to leave a chat, leave a message. I may not see it until later. I already told you I am not gifted at teaching and trying to watch the chat, but I will absolutely come back and look and see if anyone has left comments, if anyone is answering my questions. So if you have a why, if you know your why, put it in the comments. Put it in there so I can see it, so that the world can see it, so that you can speak it out loud. What is your why? And then the next question I have for you is, what is your who? Who do you really want to work with? Who do you want to talk to? Who do you love helping? Who do you love serving? That is not just your target market. When we talk about increasing your revenue faster, that happens when you are focused on your ideal client, not just your target market. Lots of people are your target market, but your ideal client is the person that you love, love, love working with. When you see their name on your schedule, you're excited. Who is your ideal client? Is your ideal client a solopreneur? Is it a local business owner? Do you work with someone who has a brick and mortar business? Is it corporate? This is critical, because if you aren't clear on the who, then what we talk about in the next parts of this conversation, you will be attracting the wrong who for the wrong why. Hi, Janae. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. And I can see Janae's comment. I love it when I can see comments. Sometimes I cannot. Oh, so Janae has a why. She said her why is, I desire to live and leave a legacy of generational wealth, health, love, and freedom. Now, that sounds like a great reason to pop out of the bed in the morning to me. So we're talking about your who. We talked about your why. We're talking about your who. Who is the person? Now, the other part of the who, of course, is you. But it's not just you. Because if you continue to build this empire with just you, you're going to crash. Eventually, you're going to crash. It's just a matter of time. You only have a certain amount of energy. You only have a certain amount of days and hours that you can work before your body is going to tell you to go sit down. And if you don't listen, it will sit you down. So part of that who is you. And that part of the you we talked about yesterday, empower. You have to take care of you. You have to mind your mind, your body, your spiritual energy, your emotional energy. All of those things are going to be critical when you decide that you want to up your game and you want to increase the speed with which you are bringing in 100K. And so yesterday I also talked about why 100K is the sweet spot. Because once you have achieved 100K, you have a proven concept. You know that what you're offering is something that people want. You know that you have the ability to sell that thing because that thing is selling. And so now the goal is to double down on what's working, clean up your processes and systems, start bringing on people that can help you to streamline and to perform and deliver in excellence consistently. And then it's a matter of refining, repeating, refining, rinsing, repeating. That's how you increase your revenue faster. It's not any more complicated than that. The complicated part is knowing your why, knowing your who. And then the next thing I want to talk about is your what. Because your what is all about your why and then who it is that you want to attract. We know so many things. I am surrounded by some of the most brilliant people I've ever met. We're multi-passionate. We're multi-talented. We can do so many things and do them in excellence. And I bet that's you too. However, we cannot, we can try, and most of us do. We keep trying and we keep wondering why we're not achieving the results that we know we can have. And it's really because we're splitting the vote. We're splitting our marketing dollar. We're splitting our energy with promoting. We are splitting our time between too many what's. We may love that thing, but does your ideal client love that thing? Are you willing to say no, not yet, to something you love so that you can focus on the thing that your clients love? It's hard. It's been tough for me. But as long as you keep circling the wagon on the thing that you're attached to, it's going to be challenging to achieve the revenue goals that you desire. And let me tell you, this is one of the biggest challenges that I see with seven-figure entrepreneurs. Because once you've achieved seven figures, you're making all this money and you know what products are bringing in the money, what services are bringing in the money. But this goes back to happiness. Just because you can does not mean you should. And so I was talking about how do we make this shift? If you find yourself caught in that place of wobble, and I'm going to be honest with you, I've been in the wobble for 3 years. This past 3 years has been the biggest wobble of my life because I was having a challenging time facing my purpose and turning my back on a lot of the things that I love. And I also want to throw in here, because in order to make this pivot that I'm going to share with you, you also need to realize that sometimes that pivot is going to be something that is a moneymaker in your business. Shutting down a moneymaker is a whole lot harder than shutting down something that is not bringing in revenue. But in order to get from where you are, which is ho-hum about some of the things that you're doing, to complete joy and bliss, you're going to have to be willing to make that decision. You're going to have to take the actions necessary to get there. And I'm telling you now, if you're not there yet, if you're loving everything that you're doing, you've either already passed this hump or you're going to get there. And truth be told, since I've been doing this for 40 years, I need you to understand that it usually comes around as a 10-year cycle. So live long enough, be an entrepreneur long enough, you will get to a point that you are not happy in your business. It's just life. And you get to decide to do something different.